Hello everyone, I'm Jose Betancourt, and as always, thank you for viewing my videos. Alright, I did make a video talking about the iPad Pro and why I wasn't going to pick one up. And here I am, making a review for the iPad Pro. As you can see here, I have the iPad Mini and the iPad Air 2 on each side of the iPad Pro, and that was due so I can show you the size of this enormous tablet. Now, some people have issues with this size. Some people have issues with the software. I'm going to explain what I like about the iPad Pro and what I don't like about the iPad Pro, and also show you a few accessories that I purchased. Some might say they're a little overpriced, but you're going to find out for yourself once you view my video. Now, as far as the iPad Air 2, do I still feel the same way about it? I definitely do. The iPad Air 2 is a magnificent tablet, probably still at the top of its game. So if you want to purchase an iPad Air 2, go ahead. Even though I will warn you, in March there are rumors of a possible iPad Air 3. Some of the rumors circulating around are stating that it could possibly have a 4K resolution screen, so you might want to hold out. And when that happens, you're going to get an iPad Air 2 for a very, very cheap price. So without further ado, let's go ahead and review this iPad Pro. The accessories I purchased the official Apple silicone case. It retails at $79.99. Yes, it's a steep price, but you're looking at a lot of material. Here, the interior is made out of a fiber cloth material. It's going to protect the back of your iPad Pro when you put it inside the case. The back of the silicone case itself is very sturdy. You can clean it easily, and the texture is not slippery. So you can walk around with this and not have to worry about dropping your iPad Pro. So here you're looking at the smart cover, which costs $59.99. It's made out of the same silicone material. The interior is made out of the same micro cloth fiber or material. And the magnet is really strong, so you can position it multiple ways and not have to worry about scratching the screen of your new iPad Pro. So let me start off with what I have issues with when it comes to the iPad Pro. As you can see here, there's a lot of space on the screen that is not being used. I use the folders. And if I want to add another icon in the dock, as you can see, as you can see, I can't put more than 6 of them. It's wasting a lot of space. And if I try to maneuver an icon in between this empty space, I just can't do it. And I don't like that. You got to work on that, Apple, quickly. So one of the key factors of the iPad Pro are those 4 speakers, and I'm going to demonstrate the difference in sound between the iPad Pro and the Apple iPad Air 2. Hello everyone, this is Jose Betancourt, and as always, thank you for viewing my videos. Here I'm playing Journey on the PlayStation 4. It was released originally in 2012 on the PlayStation 3. It was created by That Game Company and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. So even though I bought it on the PlayStation 3... So let's check out the iPad Pro. Remember, the iPad Pro has 4 speakers, and I made sure that the volume was all the way up on both devices. So get ready. Hopefully you can tell the difference. Hello everyone, this is Jose Betancourt, and as always, thank you for viewing my videos. Here I'm playing Journey on the PlayStation 4. It was released originally in 2012 on the PlayStation 3. It was created by That Game Company and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. So even though I bought it on the PlayStation 3, it wasn't until it came out on the PlayStation 4 that I finished it, that I decided... So what do you think? Well, I'm going to demonstrate even further the sound capabilities of these 4 speakers. Now, one of the key factors for picking up an iPad Pro was the ability to edit audio on my iPad Pro. Now I've done it on the Air 2, the iPad Air 2. And I'm going to demonstrate a song that I conducted using GarageBand. So check it out on the iPad Air 2. And you also got a demonstration of my dancing prowess in the background. If you were looking at my reflection on the iPad Pro, I had no idea, so a little embarrassed. So here's the same song on the iPad Pro. So check it out. All right. So once again, I conducted that on GarageBand. I did not create it. I just pieced a few things together, manipulated a few sounds. I did not come up with the loops myself, so I have to admit that. So let's talk about iMovie. iMovie is something that I use on the iPad Air 2 as well. So here is a movie that I created already, and I uploaded it from the iPad Pro to the iCloud, and it was already available on my iPad Air 2. So I'm going to demonstrate the speed between the two. Now, obviously, the iPad Pro came out much later than the iPad Air 2. And because of its size, it's going to have a lot of power as well. But here you're going to see, after I play, I'm going to upload to the iCloud. And I'm going to upload both versions at the same time so you can get a peek at the capabilities. Now, obviously, you're looking at a near 13-inch screen on the iPad Pro, and you compare that to an iPad Air 2, which has a 9.7-inch screen. So the real estate, by default, is going to highlight iMovie, and is going to give you more benefit than the 9.7-inch format. So here, I already began uploading on the iPad Air 2, and I'm choosing where to save. Of course, we've got to do 1080p. And you'll notice that even though I began uploading, or not even uploading, I began saving to my iPad Air 2. It's not even uploading yet to iCloud. But you can see how the iPad Air 2 is nearly finished, but the iPad Pro is catching up. So that's a testament to the amount of power that is in the iPad Pro and the capabilities that you are given on a device that is truly portable. And there, it's done. And we're going to check out the actual video. It's already saved internally in storage. And both of these specific iPads are the 128 models. So I have a lot of room, a lot of space, and of course, I have extra storage on iCloud. Now, I do want to apologize for the background noise. I live in Queens, New York, and there's construction all over the place. So I'm sorry. So here, I'm showing Apple Music. And I gave you demonstrations before on the prowess of these 4 speakers on the iPad Pro. Listening to music is phenomenal, and I'm really impressed by the 4 speakers. I mean, I just can't emphasize it. And it, even though you can tell the difference between the audible in this video between the iPad Air 2 and the iPad Pro, you just have to experience it for yourself. The 4 speakers make a world of difference in the quality of sound and listening to music. And of course, I got my Depeche Mode here. I'm a huge fan. Listening to music is just a blast. No pun intended. So another thing I like to do that the iPad Pro allows me to do very easily and basically anywhere is edit photos. I've been taking up photography, and I just love the ability to edit photos on my iPad. I do it on my iPhone, and I do it on the iPad Air 2. And now the iPad Pro, wow. I mean, it's seamless, especially with the Apple Pencil, which you've been seeing in this video, and I haven't really talked about it yet. I'll get to it. But you can see how smoothly the Apple Pencil is working. So just imagine how smooth it has to be, or it is, when I'm editing photos. It's just great. I mean, you're looking at some of my images here. This is an image I took at Comic-Con using a 50 millimeter lens, me and my trusty Nikon D7100. And some of these were edited using my iMac, using Lightroom. But as you can see here, I'm showing the editing capabilities that come on your iOS devices. This is the stock photo app for your iPad Pro, and it gives you some nice flexibility. You can see here I'm messing with the exposure. I can mess with color. I can manipulate quite a few features here. The only thing that I don't like is that I cannot export my images, my photos, in RAW format. I don't know why. I think I can do it in the iPad Air 2. That's something I gotta look into. I just don't understand why that is. And you can see here that I have thousands upon thousands of images. Most of this is stored on my iCloud. Of course, I got a lot of troll images, you know. We all troll a little bit. But here's another one I took at Comic-Con that I edited using Lightroom. And there's a mobile app for Lightroom. This, you know, looking at these images after so long, not to brag or anything, but I think I did a damn good job. Considering I'm a super amateur photographer, you know, if I even call myself a photographer. But anyway, having this capability and being able to show off my work on a screen of this size, it's unbelievable. And as I stated, I can do all of this on my phone, on my iPhone 6 Plus, but having the horsepower and the real estate, and of course the Apple Pencil, it just makes editing so much easier. I mean, it really does. That's no exaggeration. Now I'm going to zoom into this image, and look how clear the image remains. And I'm telling you, this screen is beautiful. It is not a 4K screen, but it is a high resolution screen. You can actually, I believe, watch 1440 videos on YouTube, I believe. And I actually demonstrated some YouTube videos from my channel, and they're 1080p. No, actually they're 720p. So the videos you were watching on my YouTube videos you were watching on this particular video were not 1440. And here are some more Comic-Con images or photos that I took. And yes, some of them are edited in Lightroom. But look at this. This guy's a Sith. I actually had to mess around with the exposure on that one. And this guy, Captain America, was, oh my god, his costume was remarkable, as you can see. And we got Chung-Li. Comic-Con's so freaking awesome. But I'm just getting a little carried away looking at these images, and I do apologize, but I just wanted to showcase that if you're into photography and if you don't necessarily need Lightroom to do heavy editing, you can get away with editing on the stock application that comes with your iPad Pro or your iPad Air 2 or your iPhone. There's a picture of me in high school, and that's an inside joke. You can see by my hands, they're pretty hairy. And people say I'm an ancestor of Chewbacca or a Sasquatch, so inside joke. But there you have it. You have why I don't like, or what I don't like about the iPad Pro, which wasn't too much, and why I really find the iPad Pro so darn awesome. I mean, try not to curse. But it is such a great device. I believe this is the start of something new. And it's funny because I bought the original iPad and everyone was calling it an oversized iPod Touch. And when I bought it, of course, I had gotten some criticism. But I strongly believe that there was potential with the iPad platform. And I even went as far as to go on my podcast, which is Post-Game Report. You can find it on iTunes. And during my review of the original iPad, I had stated that from now on, the day the iPad released, the original one, that the iPad would be considered its own platform. It will not fall into the same category as other tablets. You can see a Samsung tablet, and believe me, they have some really awesome tablets. I have a Surface Pro and I have an Android tablet. But when you see an iPad, it's simply called an iPad, regardless of which edition or which version you're looking at. And an iPad is distinct. It is everywhere. You can't get away from it. The software allows basically anyone to operate it, whether it's consuming media or doing some work. And I have the capability of doing both in a compact design that is light. Granted, I'm still getting used to taking it on the train and maneuvering around, but I have been doing so. And it's just a fantastic machine. Not the cheapest tablet you're going to find, but this is the start of something really, really revolutionary. It started with the iPad, and you've seen what Microsoft has done with the Surface. Now you're seeing what Apple's doing all over again with the iPad Pro. I think the Pro kind of throws people off, but don't let it. This is a fantastic machine. So anyway, if you own an iPad Pro, let me know what you think. And as always, I'm Jose Betancourt. Talk to you soon.